Welcome to Truthcast TV. If you're new, click that subscribe button. And if you like this video, help me get past YouTube's coded opinions by smashing the hell out of that like button. Now, I've had 3 videos took down in the past 2 months. I got a warning and a strike. And I've had 3 videos took down. My most recent video was where I posted a video showing the Capitol Police just letting people walk through the fucking door like, hey, y'all come on in. Let's drink a beer. Let's fucking reminisce about the old days. Y'all come on in here. Eat some dinner. Well, that video got took down, and I got a strike. And I had two videos previous to that took down, but I just got warnings. Well, now, since the election's over, since Joe Biden's in office, everybody who's not on the left know that, they cheated, that the whole election was fraudulent as hell. Well, before, channels like mine were getting in, trouble for saying so. Well, I guess we can talk about it openly now since Time Magazine come out with an article detailing how they stole the fucking election. Now, isn't that so ironic that they waited to come out with this article right here after all of this election bullshit was over with? Isn't that something? But Time Magazine basically come out last week and admitted that the left stole this election. Let me just read a little bit of their article, shall I? It's called The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election, aka How the Left Stole the 2020 Election. Let me just read a little bit. A weird thing happened right after the November 3rd election. Nothing. The nation was braced for chaos. Liberal groups have vowed to take to the streets, planning hundreds of protests across the country. Right-wing militias were grinding for battle. In a poll before Election Day, 75% of Americans voiced concern about violence. 80% of Americans voiced concerns about election fraud. Now, that's not a real poll, but, that's my poll. Instead, an eerie quiet descended. As President Trump refused to concede, the response was not mass action, but crickets. When media organizations called the race for Joe Biden on November 7th, jubilation broke out instead as people thronged cities across the United States to celebrate the democratic process that resulted in Trump's ouster. Now, everything that Donald Trump had been saying since election night, they basically confirm in this Time article. I mean, it's the most ironic, it's the funniest shit I've seen in a long time. But that is how brazen these globalist elite are now. That's how brazen these fucking libtards, the radical left, are these days. They will say things and do things right in front of our fucking face and dare us to try to do something about it. Now, I'm going to skip a little bit forward because I got to be at work in less than an hour. So I'm going to try to wrap this video. I'm going to try to, make this video under 5 or 6 minutes because I got to go slave for the next 8 hours today. For 8 hours today. So I'm going to try to wrap this video up, pretty quick. So I'm going to skip forward to the part that I think is the most important in this article. I'm going to read this, though. A second odd thing happened. Amid Trump's attempts to reverse the results, corporate America turned on him. Hundreds of major business leaders, many of whom had backed Trump's candidacy and supported his policies, called on him to concede. To the president, something felt amiss. It was all very, very strange, Trump said on December the 2nd. Within days after the election, we witnessed an orchestrated effort to anoint the winner, even while many key states were still being counted. In a way, Trump was right. Damn. I never thought I would see Time Magazine say that. There was a conspiracy unfolding behind the scenes, one that both curtailed the protest and coordinated the resistance from CEOs. Both surprises were the result of an informal alliance between left-wing activists and business titans. The pact was formalized in a tears little notice joint statement of the United States Chamber of Commerce and AFL-CIO published on Election Day. Both sides would come to see it as a sort of an implicit bargain inspired by the summer's massive, sometimes destructive racial justice protests in which the forces of labor came together with the forces of capital to keep peace and oppose Trump's assault on democracy. Wow. The handshake between business and labor was just one component of a vast cross-partisan campaign to protect the election, an extraordinary shadow effort dedicated not to winning the vote, but to ensuring it would be free and fair, credible, and uncorrupted. Yeah. For more than a year, a loosely organized coalition of operatives scrambled to shore up America's institutions as they came under simultaneous attack from the remorseless pandemic and an autocratical inclined president. Though much of this activity took place on the left, it was separate from the Biden campaign and crossed ideological lines with crucial contributions by nonpartisan, and conservative actors. The scenario the shadow campaigners were desperate to stop was not a Trump victory. It was an election so that no result could be disconcerting at all. Failure of the central act of democratic self-governance that has been a hallmark of America since its foundings. Now, their work touched every aspect of the election. They got states to change voting systems and laws and help secure hundreds of millions in public and private funding. They fended off voter suppression lawsuits, recruited armies of poll workers, and got millions of people to vote by mail for the first time. They successfully pressured social media companies to take a harder line against disinformation and use data-driven strategies to fight viral smears. They executed national public awareness campaigns that helped Americans understand how the vote count would unfold over days or weeks, preventing Trump's conspiracy theories and false claims of victory from getting more traction. After Election Day, they monitored every pressure point to ensure that Trump could not overturn the result. Wow. The untold story of the election is that thousands of people of both parties wrong of the left, one fucking party, who accomplished the triumph of America, democracy as its very foundation, says Norm Eisen, a prominent lawyer and former Obama administration official who recruited Republicans and Democrats to the Board of Voter Protection Program. Wow. They just basically said everything that Trump had been saying since election night. I mean, wow. Let me read this last little part right here, and then I'll wrap this video up. This is the inside story of the conspiracy to save the 2020 election based on the access to the group's inner workings, never before seen documents, and interviews with dozens of those involved from across the political spectrum. It is a story of an unprecedented, creative, and determined campaign, fraudulent as hell, whose success also reveals how close the nation came to disaster. Every attempt to interfere with the proper outcome of the election was defeated, says Ian Basin, co-founder of the Protect Democracy, a nonpartisan rule of law advocacy group. But it is massively important for the country to understand that it did not happen accidentally. Wow. The system didn't work magically. Democracy is not self-executing. They just admitted to everything that Donald Trump has been saying since election night. They just admitted to everything all of us have been saying since election night. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I got plenty more content to come because the libtards, the radical left, always give me plenty of content. So stay tuned, stay woke, God bless, and until next time, I'm out.